Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're here for Oregairu 2, Episode 4. So last episode was quite the intense one, as relations between Yukino and Hikigaya continued to crumble further and further and further into the dumps. A lot of stuff happened there. I talked about it a lot extensively last episode, so if you want to hear my thoughts about, my full thoughts about everything, you can go check that out there. Overall, this is a fantastic episode. I've been absolutely loving this season. Like, genuinely, this season has just been amazing. But last episode, Hikigaya and Yukino, their disagreements grew to an all-time high when they were talking about ideologies, and Yukino was trying desperately to stop Hikigaya from continuing to put himself down, as Hikigaya came up with a plan to help Iroha. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention that we met her. We met Iroha, who is a kohai to our main cast here, and she has been put up to be the student council president, but she doesn't want to be, and so she's looking for a way to get out of it. And Hikigaya suggested that someone botch her speech, so everybody loses confidence in her, but it's not her fault. It's the guy giving the speech, and Hikigaya was going to offer himself up to give the speech, which obviously continues down the line of him continually using himself as a scapegoat and continuously putting himself down and in bad situations for himself. Yukino is desperately trying to stop that. Yui also wants to stop it, but she is a little apprehensive about how to go about stopping him. She has attempted to, as she did, go and get him to at least listen to their meeting, and see if they could convince him that way, but it just didn't work. It didn't work at all, and Yukino was just making desperate attempt after desperate attempt to stop him, but there's no stopping the Hikigaya train right now, at least not at this current stage. We'll see where we go from here. A lot of drama going on, a lot of good character development stuff. I'm excited to see where we go, but without further ado, let's hop straight into Oregairu 2, Episode 4. Totally forgot, Orimoto. Screw her. Just had to add that in. I forgot that whole scene happened with Yukino's sister, Orimoto, all that garbage. Forgot all that happened, but now remember, it's been a couple days since I watched the last episode. Now that I remember that, I hope I never have to see her face again. That's all I'm saying. What? So, Orimoto invited Hayama out. Did Hayama mistakenly think they also invited Hikigaya? And so now that he found out they didn't invite Hikigaya, he is now inviting Hikigaya out. That seems to be what's happening here. Oh wow. Hayama really does not want to go there by himself. And he just rejects it outright. Look at Ebino over there loving it. And yeah, I kind of heard that Komichi is still very mad at Hikigaya. Why is Haruno on the phone? Oh god. Oh yeah. He wasn't invited. Yeah, I think that means he really didn't want to go. Haruno just wants this because she thinks it'll be fun. You're like some kind of logic monster. Self-conscious monster. Man, Haruno is gonna force... She will do that. We know she's that kind of character. She will force him to go out there and do it. What'd he say? Why'd you move this to a weekday just to get me to... Did Hayama move it to a weekday so he wouldn't take Hikigaya's day off? Actually surprisingly sweet if that's the case. Well, just get it over, Hikigaya. This is only making me hate these two even more. Hikigaya just leaning as far away as possible. And she leans away from him. Good, yeah, get the f away from him. I don't want you near him anyway. Stay the f away. Yukino and Yui are the only ones. The only ones who can be near him. To end something that never started. I'm fuming. The more every word that comes out of her mouth, every new sentence she speaks makes me more and more mad. Could they make her any less likable? Oh my god, she is. So I had my list before. What I had going was Sagami and Orimoto on my hate list. Orimoto has every sentence sends her up another level. So it's like Orimoto's right here, she speaks, then it's up here, then she speaks, and then it's up here, right there, and then she speaks again, and then we're off the video to where you can't even see it anymore. That's how much I hate her. Yeah, this is really making Hayama uncomfortable. I can imagine why it would. I mean, even Hayama has to realize that they're just consistently on Hikigaya. Why? I get that Hayama might have invited Hikigaya out so it wasn't just him, and because he knew Hikigaya had some connection to Orimoto in the first place, because I'm sure Hayama doesn't have any interest in these two, and so he was just accepting them to please them, I guess. It seems like a very Hayama thing to do. But he invited Hikigaya because he knew Hikigaya had some connection to Orimoto, and it made it so Hayama wasn't the only guy there. But like, Hayama had to know something like this would happen. He heard how Orimoto spoke to him. Or did he? I can't remember if he was there when Orimoto was saying all that awful shit to him. I don't know. Oh, hello, Abina. Oh, that'll be... Oh, God, that's... Yumiko? Nothing's happening. And she falls and eats. He got turned away real quick. Yeah, we should probably get the hell out of here. That was such a random cameo. They showed up for 2 seconds. Oh my god, why is everybody out today? Is that Iroha? Wait, is Iroha his sister? Back it up. Oh my god, she's totally his sister. Oh my god, they have the same hair. Iroha is Tobei's sister. Good to know, I guess. And I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that she's a year younger than our main crew. Tobei's a second year. She's a first year. Makes sense that they're siblings. Irohas. Maybe a nickname? Where the hell? Oh, Iroha went straight over to Hikigaya. You've got some balls to be goofing off with chicks while you've got work to do. Just the code. Wait, I want to get that again. Oh god. Yeah, that's terrifying, man. You know, that's terrifying. Yeah, they're definitely siblings, the way they're interacting. Lets you see her that way. That's true, Hikigaya did make a comment that, like, I can't remember if he called her fake, but he was saying, like, her personality is one that everybody would like to hate. I think he said something along those lines. I don't know if he read into it so much as to call her fake. I can't remember the specifics of what he said. Yeah, her personality gives off Haruno vibes in the way that she's all cheery on the outside, but then she lets her guard down every now and then. It's quieter girls and noisier girls. That were my type too. You and me both. Oh, we never saw this. I don't think he's talking about Yumiko. I just want to put that idea out there. The way that he has known Yukino for a lot of his life, and he said that him and her used to be friends in elementary school, and that whenever she was getting bullied and ostracized from a group of friends, he was unable to help her, which was why he was so persistent in helping Tsurumi last season. I think it's entirely possible that he grew some kind of crush on her back in elementary school, and maybe that's never faded. Or he just gave Tobei that as to get Tobei off his scent. Because as he said to Hikigaya here, he literally said, I don't know if we've ever truly liked someone, which I think could also mean that he was just telling Tobei that to get Tobei off his ass, to make him think, oh, he's talking about Yumiko, when in reality he wasn't. Yumiko, to me, her relationship with Hayama, they're good friends, yes, but her liking him seems extremely one-sided. Like, extremely one-sided. At least from what I've seen on the surface level. So that's going to be interesting to see as we dive further in. If Hayato is talking about Yukino here, I think that's going to be my ongoing theory, that Y is not Yumiko, it's Yukino. Don't tell me. Do not tell me the answer. I'll find out eventually. And Orimoto's just... guess Saize is like a very fancy restaurant. Oh my god, these two girls are just talking over each other, just blah, 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 making me want to throw up. Haruno's watching them? Oh my god. Shut the f up. I'm this close to blowing a fuse. I'm this close. Orimoto, I'm at the end of my goddamn string with you, I swear to God. I love how Hikigai is just totally ignoring them. He's just learned to totally block them out. Ooh. I love Hayato, man. He's one of, I said this last season, he is one of my favorite characters. He is extremely complex, and I feel like we don't know a whole ton about him, but he seems to be just a genuinely good person at heart, and I love that. Sure, he's got drama going on and shit happens, and he's put in situations that he doesn't know how to navigate. Hayato might be the whole popular guy, but earlier in this season during the field trip thing, he went to Hikigai for advice because he didn't know what the to do. Hayato doesn't know his way around every situation, even if he's as popular as he is, and I think that adds so many layers to his character. I think he's a great character. He's definitely one of my favorites in the entire series, because he's not what he seems on the surface, not in the slightest. Well, he is, because he is a really good guy, but that outward layering he puts on isn't necessarily his true inward person. Yes, he's a good person, but there's a lot more layers behind that as well. I don't know if that is selective subtitling, and he didn't exactly say, because he literally just said, I don't like that. And then they're like, I know, right? And then he's like, no, I'm talking about you two. Just directly saying I don't like you two. Defending Hikigaya. Once again, another person defending Hikigaya this season. First it was Yukino and Yui when Tobei came in, and now it's Hayato. You love to see it. Whether Hikigaya will acknowledge it or not, they are almost indirectly showing him that it's not okay to let himself get trounced on over and over and over. Because Hikigaya is not going to stand up for himself. It's just not in his nature, and in his current ideology especially, he's just not going to stand up for himself unless maybe it's against Yukino. Because him and Yukino have all their debates. These people around him are indirectly showing him, like, we don't like it when you get shit on. Like, Yukino and Yui defending him immediately told you, hey, we don't like it when people say this stuff about you. And now Hayama's doing the exact same thing. Yeah, things just got really awkward. What in the hell? Why are you two here? Why exactly were Yui and Yukino brought here? What? For what reason? For what? What reason? I also think that might have been a little of misdirect subtitling. I think what he said was, I don't like what you're doing. Like, I don't think he said, I don't think he directly said, I don't like you. Because the girls wouldn't have been like, oh, yeah. They wouldn't have said yeah to Hayato saying, I don't like you. That doesn't make any sense. Grammatically speaking, why the fuck would they be like, yeah, Hayama's like, I don't like you. And they're like, yeah. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So I think what he said was, I don't like when you do that. And so they're like, yeah. Like, trying to backtrack almost. Something like that. That's what seems most likely here. Wrong timing, Hayama. Do you realize all the drama shit that's going on with them? Whoa! I love this. I love this so much. I love this so much. Retribution for my man. Retribution. Thank you, Hayama. Wow. Did he call him here just to make this statement to these two pieces of Is that what he did? If he did, Hayama's the best. Hayama's the absolute best. If he called Yukino and Yui here just to make this point that Hikigaya is friends with them. If so, props to Hayama, man. That's amazing. Do they even have a response to that, man? Yeah, probably good time for you two to dip. Yui had to look away, but Yukino couldn't give a second glance. Yeah, f*** you, Orimoto. Get the f*** out of here. And your friend, too. Sorry, I might be being way too harsh on these two. I might be being way too harsh. No, I'm not. Especially not on Orimoto. The other friend wasn't really making as many jokes. He was just kind of following along with what Orimoto was saying. Orimoto deserves all the shit I give her. All of it. Well, it seems like that wasn't the case. To stop Hikigaya? Wow! Even Hayama's going that far. Wow! That is actually stunning to me. If Hikigaya... I know it's not going to happen here because he just can't even fathom it being the case. But these three here care for Hikigaya so much that Hayama is willing to run for president to stop Hikigaya from going up there and putting himself further down. If that isn't best friend material right there, I don't goddamn know what would be. And Haruno's here as well. Oh god. This is so intense, man. God damn. And Yukino's not letting her ruffle her feathers. I do think Haruno is, I think Haruno is at heart here trying to motivate Yukino. As we saw last season, I had what I believe to be a very strong theory. Episode 11, I believe it was. I believe Haruno was specifically going and agreeing with everything Sagami was saying to specifically poke at Yukino and see how Yukino would overcome that situation where her older sister, who is widely known throughout the student council, especially Meguri, Shiro Meguri, the student council president at the time, was widely known by Haruno how Yukino would overcome that situation where the leader of the club committee, or the cultural festival committee, and Haruno were purposely ganging up against Yukino. And she wanted to see how she would overcome that, and in the end Hikigaya had to help her a little bit. She overcame the situation in the end. I 1000% believe Haruno was trying to set Yukino up for growth there. That's what I believe, and I believe she's doing the same here. You guys have told me several times that Haruno is a much more detailed character than you could ever find on the surface. And so I am trying to dig deep, and that's what I believe. I believe everything Haruno does is an attempt to motivate Yukino in some kind of way. That's what I believe. At least for the time being, until she does something to sway my mind differently. Like, this whole altercation here, I feel like it's built off the premise of Haruno trying to motivate Yukino by getting under her skin. That's what I believe. Until the show attempts to prove me otherwise, that is my theory going forward. And I've had two examples where I think that theory is being backed up. And they both just got the hell out of there instantly. You understand everything, don't you? That was definitely poking at him. That was sarcasm, right? He does. You're afraid everyone has evil intentions. There's nothing interesting about someone who can handle everything flawlessly, is there? Man, so many, every sentence here feels like it's super in-depth, and I feel like I need to be analyzing everything. Every sentence that's being said here, I feel like has something to do with elaborating on her character in some way. Like, everything she's saying here. So, on that note, I'm gonna go back and watch the whole scene again. That felt like sarcasm, especially from the way Hikigaya reacted. That felt like sarcasm. It really did. It felt like she was poking at him by sarcastically saying, "You understand everything." Maybe I'm wrong, but the way she said it almost sounded sarcastic. Of course, I can't read sarcasm worth a when it's Japanese speaking. Like, I can't tell sarcasm to save my life. I don't know anything about that. But his reaction makes me think it was. She says that while looking directly at Hayama. I'm in a crappy mood now. He's talking about Yukino, for sure. And so do the people around you. Speaking facts! This is the first time anyone has straight up come out and said it to Hikigaya. Nobody at this point has been direct with him. Nobody has been directly and told him, you need to realize what you're worth. And so does everybody else around you. In my opinion, the only people who have realized Hikigaya's worth are Ebina, Yukino, Yui, Hayama, and Hiratsuka-sensei. By realizing his worth, I don't necessarily mean realizing that he's like a person and that he means as much as everybody else. I mean, it's hard to put into words exactly what I mean, because it's what that was Hayama's exact line. People around you need to realize what you're worth as well. I feel like people seem to think of him as some loner loser who you can just on and not feel worried about it. And people need to realize he's more than that. He's more than just a trash bag for your insults. And whatever else there may be out there, misconceptions about Hikigaya, whatever it may be, people need to realize he's more than that. Hayama's I'm not going to go down the list again, but those 5 people that I named seem to have realized it. And, man, maybe even Yumiko's realized it. I feel like Tobe might have... definitely not Tobe. Iroha seems to have realized it. A lot of characters are seeming to realize it the more they interact with him. But thank you, Hayama, for telling him straight. You were the first person who has come out and told him straight up what needs to be said. I'm going to watch that again, because I like that. But this scene here of Hayama saying, I never want to do that again, I think that goes in line with his character. He's a good guy. He doesn't want to do that to people. But he did it because he got so fed up with them consistently shitting on him that it literally brought out a side of Hayama that he doesn't usually come out. We saw it in episode 12 when he threw Hikigaya against the wall. You don't see that side of him very often. I'm telling you, man, the voice actors in this series absolutely kill it every time. It's so good. He's talking about Yukino. He's talking about Yukino here. 1000% without a shadow of a doubt, I can say he's talking about Yukino here. There's nothing in my mind that will tell me different. Nothing they can say that will tell me different of how I can get back what I destroyed. He's talking about Yukino, and he's talking about when he didn't help her. What can I get back what I destroyed? What he destroyed is his relationship with her when he got too scared to help her in elementary school. That's what he wants to get back, what he destroyed. That relationship, that bond between them. That's why that also kind of, I don't know if it aids my theory about the Yukino over Yumiko thing, but I think it's possible that it aids it. It really just depends on how you look at it, because you could just consider it in an entirely friendly way, but I already talked about that theory extensively earlier. Anyway, let's continue. Even though I knew how you are, you need to realize how much you're worth. It's like Hayama was trying to, through Yukino and Yui, it's like he was trying to get Hikigaya, on one hand, to help get back what he destroyed, which, aka get back maybe the old Yukino from elementary school. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Whatever happened in elementary school, maybe it's not the bond he wants back necessarily. He just wants the old Yukino back, because whatever happened in elementary school, maybe it destroyed her. It left her mentally broken as she went forward, and it's how she turned out how she kind of is now. Obviously, she's grown a lot as a character since we first met her, but maybe back then, that's kind of what happened. There's a lot of possibilities from these words that he's saying right now. Oh, man. It's so damn good. And the second part of that, I almost forgot, the second part of that is that he wanted to make Hikigaya realize his worth through Yui and Yukino, and that hasn't worked. Because as he said, it's hard to do. It really is. It really, really, really is. He said, this is all I could do in the form of bringing Yukino and Yui here, standing up for Hikigaya, and then pointing over to Yukino and Yui and be like, those are his friends. That's what he means by all I could do. The first person to come out and say it to him straight is Hayama. I would have thought it would have been like Yui or something, but no. It is straight up Hayama. This is the most brutally honest conversation anybody has had with Hikigaya since the series started. People dance around the topic a lot with him, but I feel like the only person who's been completely honest with him was Hiratsuka. I feel like she was, in episode 12 of last season, she was brutally honest with him as well, and now this is the second person who's being brutally honest with him. Everyone else thinks doesn't mean a thing. That reaction tells me it's kind of partly true. All the bikes fell over. One conviction I shared with someone else and now I've lost it. Okay. I'm being 100% honest, no idea what he means by that. Like, usually I can get at least a clue. I don't know what he means by that. I genuinely don't know what he means by, even if I didn't say it out loud, I had my own solid conviction. The one conviction that I shared with someone else, and now I've lost it. Is he talking about Yukino? Truthfully, don't know. I actually don't know. I'm at a loss. For probably the first time, I'm at a total loss. I actually don't know what exactly he means by this statement. I get the rest of it. He's deluding himself. Why the hell would I sacrifice myself for any of you when that's exactly what he's done over and over again? He's deluding himself. He said earlier that it's just how he lives. He's always been alone, so whatever happens, happens to him alone, and yada yada yada. He's deluding himself. He is 1000% deluding himself through his years of experience that he's had, his built-up ideologies. He is deluding himself entirely. Obviously, here, he's not going to admit it anytime soon. Man, it's almost like he doesn't even realize that he's sacrificing himself, because to him, it's such a natural thing for him to put himself down at this point that it doesn't even feel like it's a sacrifice. It just feels, to Hikigaya, it just feels like a way to solve the problem. A way to solve the problem is putting himself down. But he doesn't consider it a sacrifice in the slightest. He doesn't consider putting himself down. It's not that he doesn't consider putting himself down a way to help anybody, because that's what he's done over and over again. It's that he doesn't consider putting himself down a sacrifice. He doesn't consider it a sacrifice for anybody else because he doesn't realize that the other people even care for him like that at all. Because a sacrifice naturally implies that you're giving something up in the process, and what he's giving up is the other people's feelings because they hurt when he hurts himself. And he doesn't realize that. Very clearly, he does not realize that, because he doesn't recognize it as a sacrifice in the first place. He doesn't think he's giving up something. As he said, what happens to me alone, because he's always been alone. So he doesn't consider the possibility of hurting anybody else around him in the first place. He doesn't even consider that to be in the realm of possibility that he's hurting other people with his actions, because he's always been alone. So whatever happens to him alone, and only to him. I want to go back to that line he said to Hayama. Whatever happens in front of me happens to me and me alone. That is the one, like, the biggest sentence out of this statement is that one right there, because in Hikigaya's mind, like I've said over and over again, he doesn't even consider it in the realm of possibilities for anyone else to be affected when he puts himself down. So why in his mind, what the hell do you mean I'm sacrificing myself for you guys? I'm not sacrificing for you guys. I'm just putting myself down because it gets the problem solved. He doesn't even consider it a sacrifice to begin with. By the way, another fantastic episode. This is like being on par with episode 2. It's definitely not going to break episode 2's level. That was easily my favorite episode of the entire series. But how much this episode has got me talking in the second half, it's raising the bar a lot. It's getting up there. I'm really enjoying this. Actually, I'm just going to listen to all this text again. Yeah, Hikigaya is completely obtuse to the idea whatsoever. I still don't know what that means, man. I'm trying so hard to figure out what the hell that means. I don't got it. I seriously don't. Whoa. She actually went through with her sisters messing with her led her to actually submit herself for the student council president. Interesting. Doesn't that mean she'll leave the club? She didn't even tell Yui. She didn't even tell Yui. Oh my god. Was she that desperate for a solution? That she... See, I can't tell if this is from Haruno. Possibly. It didn't seem like Haruno ruffled her feathers, so I don't think this is Haruno screwing with her. I just have to wonder if she's so desperate for a solution to stop Hikigaya that she would put herself up for the job. I don't know if that's the case, or if it's Haruno that's influencing her to do this. I'm sure we'll find out here soon. I don't mind doing it. Whoa. Thinking that everyone concerns themselves enough with you to hate you is overly self-conscious. That is a bar. Holy Yukino, that is a absolute bar. I'm gonna attempt to break that down for a second. So, Hikigaya, in his mind, when he puts himself down, the idea in his head is always, everybody will hate me, so a solution will be found with me being hated in mind. But Yukino here is saying, you thinking that everyone will concern themselves enough with you to hate you is overly self-conscious. She's saying that there might not even be, people might not, I mean, it's in the quote what the meaning is, but I'm trying to like break it down to simpler terms for myself. That, I mean, I guess there's not really simpler terms than what she said. Realistically speaking, it's just, you think people will give enough of a give enough of a about you to hate you in the first place. That is probably a really simple way to put what she said. The atmosphere in this club is so tense. What's up with Yui? She looked very determined there. Damn, she is panting. She sprinted up to him. Whoa! Dude, I love this piano soundtrack they played. They've played it before in the season as well. God damn, it's so pretty. It is so pretty. It fits scenes like this so well. I'm trying to understand why she wants to try. Is it to stop Yukino? Because I don't know. It's all getting very convoluted. I guess she's just saying there's nothing I can do, as in like there's nothing I can do for you, there's nothing I can do for Yukino. Like so far there's been no way for her to step in between them and their constant digression in their relationship. There's been no way for her to step in, and now it's gone so far that Yukino didn't even tell her about the fact that Yukino was going to run to be a president. I very much agree, Yui. Probably be the end, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it will eventually fizzle out. This soundtrack is gonna get me emotional, man. Was that like a confession? Just maybe a little bit. The way they animated that was so pretty. The facial movements looked so real. The way she was like kind of glancing away like nervously and then like summoned up the courage to finally finish her sentence. I think that was like kind of a confession. I like it. I wonder what it is, Yui. So it seems like I'm just trying to understand why. I understand that Yui doesn't want the club to fall apart, but at the same time, if Yui becomes the president, wouldn't it still fall apart? I mean, I guess I know how she said with Yukino only focuses on one thing, so Yukino would focus on becoming the best student president they've ever seen, and I agree with Yui. I think she probably would become one of the best student presidents in the school's history. I don't doubt that Yukino is a genius. She absolutely would, but I also agree that the club would probably fall apart in its current standing. With how tense things are between Hikigai and Yukino, I don't doubt that it would. So I think my guess for what Yui's really doing here, I think if Yui were to get student council president, I do think it's possible that the club can continue. I feel like Yui would definitely attempt to make time for the club. I don't know. That's really the only direction I can see her going with this, is that she loves the club so much. She loves Yukino, she loves Hikigaya so much that she doesn't want things to be destroyed by Yui going to be the student body president. Because realistically, like I said before, if Yukino joins, the way things are between her and Hikigaya right now, it probably will fall apart. So I guess that's what Yui's trying to do. She's trying to stop that from happening. And obviously she said, I've been relying on you all the time, Hikigaya, and so she wants to go and do something for herself for once, without relying on Yukino, without relying on Hikigaya. She wants to take charge in something she can do. This is totally a confession. Though I think Ski Nano, she cut out the club part of it, which is already suspicious as. Of course, Hikigaya realizes nothing, but Yui literally just told him that she likes him. Essentially. That's what she just did. Wow. She seriously... I've never seen a face like that. I've never seen a face like that on Hikigaya before. I have never seen a face like that. God damn it, Yui. It just clicked in my head that she cut him off. I wanted to hear what he was gonna say. Yui, why? Why? I wanted to hear what he was gonna say there. Oh, man. I've never seen a face like that on Hikigaya before. It's like he actually maybe believed that she could do it. Beautiful scene. And it's like Yui kind of backtracked there. It's like she said, I like it, like she was saying, I like you. But it didn't land. Hikigaya didn't seem to recognize at all what she was saying, and so she kind of was like, she kind of just backtracked as quickly as possible. That is a face of determination if I've ever seen one. I love Yui, man. I love all these characters. Ooh, Tada? Damn. You know you were going through something when you were sitting in the pitch black in your living room in the pitch black of night, staring at the ceiling. You know you're going through something. I also hope he reconciles with Komachi soon. Hello, Komachi. Man, she is what... They ended the... I'm gonna have to watch the next episode. It's super, super late. I don't care. I'm watching the next episode. Oh, it's a special ED. It's just Yui singing. Alright, we have to watch it now. It's the same, like, panning, but it's just Yui singing. She really has such a pretty voice. Props to her voice actress. She kills it every episode with her. Like I've said countless times with this show, the voice actors and voice actresses kill it in displaying emotions with their voices. Yeah, her beautiful singing is actually going to make me emotional. Oh my god. I don't know if it's because it's so late and I'm like tired, but it's actually going to make me emotional. Yep, just Yui in the final visuals here. That was pretty. Oh boy, what an episode. We are crossing the 1 hour mark again. This is the second time ever I have recorded an hour for a single episode reaction. I think that just goes to show how good this episode was. Oh man, what a crazy episode. I genuinely don't think I have much more to say. There's that one scene that I didn't understand fully. I couldn't tell if Hikigaya was talking about Yukino, or what exactly he was referencing or saying in that scene. If you guys want to clarify that for me, feel free. I'd really appreciate it. Fantastic episode. Fantastic. Oh my god. I'm not even joking. This show is seriously... barely into season 2. We're on episode 4. Episode 4! And it is already 1,000 times better than season 1. I loved season 1. Nowhere near as good as this. Not even close. It's not even comparable. The difference between season 1 and how absurdly good this season has been. It's not even comparable. Genuinely, I love this show so much. It is quickly working its way into my favorite shows of all time. And like I said, I'm only on season 2, episode 4. Or should I say, 2, episode 4, as they call it. Fantastic episode. I've analyzed more than enough at this point. As I said in the Komochi bit, I'm gonna watch the next episode right now. So, I think that is gonna wrap it up for my reaction to Oregairu 2, episode 4. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you all have a good day.